Hello, students. So, today we are going to take up the short story, The Eternal Moment by E.M. Forster. E.M. Forster was an English author and he was best known for his ironic and well plotted novels, which examines class difference and hypocrisy in the early 20th century British society. Now, usually, stories written or fabricated by E.M. Forster has a protagonist who is being offered a glimpse of a better life, sometimes momentarily only, but then he or she gets a glimpse of a better life. And the protagonist possesses a vivid imagination, an inquiring mind, and is generally dissatisfied with the established attitudes, and it is with the passage of time the protagonist undergoes a phase of transformation due to the experience that he or she has acquired due to an event that occurs in his or her life. Now, this experience, whatever experience he or she has got, this brings about a permanent, irreversible change. Okay, and now the transformed character of the protagonist can never be the same again after this glimpse of reality, and he or she would always be dubious about others, about other people. Okay, and even in this story, that is The Eternal Moment, we have a protagonist, Miss Raby, who underwent such transformation of character. Now, this story is divided into three parts, where the first part tells us about the relationship shared by Miss Raby and Colonel Leyland. Sorry. Then the disappointment that Miss Raby after seeing the commercialization of the beautiful mountain resort named Volta, as a result of her book named The Eternal Moment. Now, in this short story, we get to see that Miss Raby has written a novel named The Eternal Moment. Now, you must have heard about intertextuality while reading modernism and postmodernism. So, this is what's going on in this uh, short story, where the character, the protagonist, writes a novel, uh, a literary work, and the name of this literary work is The Eternal Moment. So this is what you call intertextuality, right? Now, uh, because she has because of her book The Eternal Moment, commercialization has crept in this small quaint village, Volta, right? And because of this reason, she feels that she is the one who is responsible for all of this. She is the one who is responsible for the commercialization of Volta. Okay, so this is what first part of the story deals with. Now, in the second part, we get to see that due to this commercialization, people have become money minded. They are no more that naive and good people that she came across when she first came to this small village, Volta. Their innocence is lost. Okay, and it is she who has transfigured the lives of people of Volta, and that is why she is very depressed by the present condition of Volta. Okay, now we also come to know about her work, The Eternal Moment. Like, we get to understand this novel, the work of hers, in great detail in this second part. And uh, well, she believes that this work of hers, that is The Eternal Moment, is what responsible for this state of water, for this deplorable state of water. So, this is what the second part deals with. Now we come to the last part of the story, where she undergoes a transformation of character when she realizes that the moment of her life, which she held very dearly in her memories, was nothing but a sham. She realizes that she could never be the same again. She had been clinging to this memory of her since 20 years, which has now been shattered brutally because she understood the real character of a man named Feoginori, Feoginori. So, throughout the story, she realizes that she has not just turned a quaint village to a tourist village, but has also influenced the lives of the inhabitants of this village. She holds herself responsible for all of this. And finally, she leaves the village completely disheartened. So, these are the three parts that we come across while reading this story, The Eternal Moment, the short story by E.M. Forster. Okay, now I'm going to summarize this short story. You can find the story on fullreads.com. I'm going to share this link with you all on my Google Classroom. So, in this story, Miss Raby, like I told you previously, that Miss Raby wrote a novel, The Eternal Moment, which was based on a mountain resort, Volta, Vorta, Volta. Okay, and she described the simplicity and beauty of this small place very elaborately in this work of hers. Okay, and because of this work, many other significant people became attracted to this place and assisted in turning Volta from a quaint village to a tourist village. Paintings were made. So, several painters came to Volta and they made paintings on this small village. Based on this small village, there were articles that were published in different newspapers and weekly magazines. Okay, so uh, this is how Volta became a commercialized place. So, because it was the first step was taken by Miss Raby, that is through her work, of course, The Eternal Moment. That is why she holds herself responsible for the commercialization. Now, what do you mean by commercialization? Now, this is also one aspect of this story. What do you mean by commercialization? It means that many hotels were constructed around this village to support tourism. Now, because tourists are coming to this place, which they deem beautiful because of this novel, The Eternal Moment, there are several hotels that were constructed around this village. Okay, and because of this reason, the inhabitants of Volta, who up till now had been leading a very simple, cozy, rustic life, they had changed due to the indefinable corruption produced by the passage of a large number of people, that is tourists. क्योंकि tourists ज़्यादा आ रहे थे तो इसी वजह से अब tourists, of course, they are people who live in cities, right, in urban areas, and now they are coming to a विलेज, दैट मीन्स योर रूरल एरिया. अब तक ये गांव किसी भी चीज़ से इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं था, राइट. लेकिन जब बाहरी लोग, सिटी के लोग जब गांव में आने लगे एज अ टूरिस्ट, तो क्या हुआ, जो विलेज के भी लोग थे उन लोगों ने भी थोड़ा सा कनिंगनेस सीख लिया, उनको भी श्रूड बनना पड़ा, राइट. एंड दैट इज़ वाई आई एम सेइंग दैट it has brought corruption in this small village called Volta, the mountain resort Volta. Okay, so indefinable corruption was produced by the passage of large number of people. Okay, now they became now the people of Volta, that means the natives of Volta, they became money minded because of this commercialization, and they did not even give significance to familial bonds also. Okay, in fact, the only bond that they respect is that of man and money. They had been influenced to that extent. Imagine, right? So, that is why I'm saying again and again that people, they have changed quite significantly. They are no more attached to their family members. The only thing they are attached to is money. Okay, now Miss Raby came to this place after a span of 20 years. So that is where the story starts. That she is coming back to this place after a span of 20 years, and she is exhausted seeing the commercialized condition of water. Okay, now if we talk about her first visit, so, in her first visit, she was a young girl. Okay, and she was accompanied by a woman named Mrs. Harbottle. Harbottle. Mrs. Harbottle. Okay, now, so I'm talking about the previous visit of what's her name? Miss Rebby. Okay, so in her first visit, they hired, that is Miss Rebby and Mrs. Hardbottle, they hired a porter whose name was Fioginori. He was a young lad at that time, and he professed his love for Miss Raby. And he even proposed the idea of flying with her to Italy. So that is the extent of love that he has professed. Okay, so he has said that we are going to fly to Italy where we are going to live forever and we would always be happy, always be young. Okay, so these are the things that were promised by Fuginori to the young lady, Miss Rebby, during her first visit. Okay, and being a young lady, she was someone who belonged to the rich class, and this was not very normal, and that is why she cried out. Okay, she cried out then, and even though she rejected this proposal of Fioginori, she kept this incident close to her heart. She couldn't accept this offer because of the class difference, but then this incident became very precious one. She, in fact, held this memory for 20 years. That means she is coming to this place again after 20 years, after a period of 20 years, and she is still having that memory afresh in her mind. Okay, so that is the case. तो भले ये 20 साल के बाद वापस यहाँ पे आ रही, फिर भी इनको फ्यो गिनोरी अभी भी याद है. So it was an eternal moment in her life. She used to draw inspiration from this romantic incident. This incident upon the mountain had been one of the greatest moments of her life, and certainly the most enduring one. It played a significant role in her overall development. And to quote the lines from the text, E.M. Forster writes, one second, let me come to that page. 55. One second, yeah. Okay. So E.M. Forster writes, quote, "A presumptuous boy had taken her to the gates of heaven, and though she would never not enter with him, the eternal remembrance of the vision had made life seem endurable and good." Unquote. So this is what Ian Forster writes about this whole incident. Okay. Now while coming to Volta again, this time with her maid Elizabeth and Colonel Leyland, she wished to meet Theo once again. Okay, so she's coming to Volta after 20 years, and she has a desire to meet Theo once again. She wants to see what change uh, has been brought upon by this character named Fioginori, whether he has changed or not, or whether he is still that same simple boy, rustic boy. Okay, so she is coming here. She is coming again with one of her mates, that is Elizabeth, and with Colonel Leyland. Okay, so she told about fear to Colonel Leyland. And she said that when she first met him, he lived at Italia Irredenta. Italia Irredenta. Okay, and he even proposed to fly with her to the kingdom, and that he picked her flowers, and when she held out her hand for them, he seized it and delivered a love oration which she prepared out of an Italian novel named A Promessi Sposi. I Promessi Sposi. It is, I think I can show to you an Italian. Yes, see? Here it is. I Promessi Sposi. Okay, so this is a novel that he has used while professing his love for this beautiful young lady. Okay, Okay, so this is the first lecture on this short story, The Eternal Moment. I'm going to upload another lecture on this short story, lecture number 2. Okay, so please go through first lecture and then go to the second lecture, because I'm not sure if YouTube will allow me to upload such a big video. I don't know. Okay, so I'll just stop here, right here, and then I'm going to upload it, and then I will record another lecture for you all, that is lecture number 2 on this short story. Okay, thank you.